Hey guys, Danny Go here. So I just started my video and did 20 minutes of it, and realized it was not even being recorded. It was going to a Twitch live stream. Very disappointing, but here we go. Second take. But maybe this take will be a little bit better because I've already rehearsed it, right? Okay, so all right. So I have to mentally go back over everything I already did. And because you don't know any of what I said before. All right, let's go back. Take two. All right, so where we are. So we got a Hoff this week on Pfeffoid, 850, 875 peds. Plus we got after that I got kind of a little tired. So I didn't really cycle a whole lot after that. So, but I still got a global mining and a few minis. So we did quite a big reversal down to 6,201. So it's gained 850-ish peds on the week. You see my it's a very mini Hoff 850 or no 875 875 sorry. Or 785. 785 is the small Hoff, not even 800, but barely below. But it was a Hoff nonetheless. So my second Hoff in 2 weeks, continuing the positive trend line. See my mining global there. So continuing the strong trend lines on this. A lot of it, I think, is being fueled by a lot of good skill gain up to 785 skills gained this week. I think also a lot of it is we're starting to hit the critical levels in mining. I feel like this is like a rushed summary of what I just previously did because I didn't feel like doing it again. But actually, maybe it's good. Maybe it's good to actually, this is what preparation looks like. Um, all right. So I did get one of those irons to pop last week in mining treasure sense. So my treasure sense got above that critical level of 2,000. Ground assessment is moving nicely past that critical level. Mineral sense is still below, but it's improving. So I think that I'm not getting a lot of drag from the mining sector. I think the mining sector is now very competitive with all those unlocks. I mean, obviously, I don't think you need the final unlock to be competitive. I think at the final lock you become beyond competitive is what I think. We'll see how it goes, but that's what I believe. So at this point, I believe I'm very competitive in mining. Crafting is obviously a big problem, which has no easy resolution. But I will continue to work on that as I can. So now we're just out here mining in Arcadia. So okay, let's go there. Okay, let's go back to the game a little bit. Yeah, out here mining in Arcadia. So I'm hoping to get some. Hoping the run can return. I feel pretty strongly that I've got I've actually improved my game quite a lot. And I think I have a max that's in the positives. I think so. I'm hoping that we can get there, the max in the positives, and as my numbers improve, hopefully eventually sustain constant positives. We'll see. See how it goes. But that's kind of the why you play the game. Is if we knew how it would end, maybe it wouldn't be so fun. maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I guess that's a personal preference. I mean, like to me, it's not about like the money, exactly. I don't think I would ever probably withdraw from this game just because I don't perceive like I would it would be enough money to be worth withdrawing. Um, but I could definitely love to make some pet in the game and to get a lot of things for myself. That would be nice. And I don't really want to go past like I mean, I feel like at 6,000, 62,000 pets in the game, I have like absolutely no reason to put more pets in the game. And you know, um, to me, it's a very reasonable amount of expenditure. For a game that I'm gonna play, for hopefully, 20 years if it keeps going. Definitely, I'm already at 4, so I mean, and I haven't really lost hardly anything, so um, I don't see any reason I couldn't play on this the same amount of money. If the game is going for 20 years, I don't see any reason I couldn't keep playing on this money, same amount of money, which would actually make it a pretty cheap expense, actually. Um, I guess that means I'm being pretty successful. I mean, especially because, with all those skills and whatnot, if I decide to sell them, um, if I decided to actually sell the skills, I'm sure I would definitely be in the positive by a lot, but I don't even really account for that. It's not something I want to do, but I guess that means that I have options, If I was ever really starting to struggle on the returns, I could just do a major skill sell, to get back competitive. And there are quite a lot of skills to sell. It's almost approaching 350,000, and I mean, you can see my clip. I can gain 1,000 a week. That means um, you know, mm, probably probably be over 400,000 pretty soon, maybe in a year or so, maybe a little longer than a year. Don't always clip it 1,000, but I mean, sometime next year probably be around 400,000 skills. So. Um, and This part I'm debating even going to. I went to it pretty long in the other one, but I guess I will because it's kind of important to me. Processes, probably not important to you. So I've changed my sort of well, there are a couple things I did funding wise. I didn't really get anything into the game this week. I continued to build up on Ludius at 800, not 800, 181 pets. So getting close to 200 peds. I didn't get a withdrawal this week; just didn't fit my time schedule. Um, but yeah, this is a great site. You can get a lot of ped from here, from the offers. They have video stuff that pays really well, um, and so that's pretty good. Just open some ped crates. Not very many. But yeah, if I'll have a referral code in the comments. You can click that, join, um, and um, it gives me a little bonus if you do stuff, but it doesn't cut into anything you get. So it's just win-win for everybody. Help support what I'm doing with my videos and whatnot. In terms of pet, I didn't really get any pet into the game other than well, I didn't get any pet into the game. I was gonna say I got a payout again from Atlas Earth, my second payout. I'm on track to well over one a month now. Not well over, but um, I'd probably be pulling in about 70 pets a month now from Atlas Earth. So that's pretty strong. In terms of this, I took a $5 withdrawal from Atlas Earth. And I just used it to buy a sub for Green Toker been doing really great. So see how he continues to do with that. May not do that every month, a sub for Green Toker instead of a depot. But I mean, that's essentially didn't change my cost basis at all, because you think about that. Hey, bismuth, woot. So there are two things, we're looking for out here, and I was explaining that before. In the video, I didn't. I went to Twitch, which was a disappointment, but it was okay. So what we are doing here, we're looking for bismuth and gold coins. Gold coins are used for apartments. Apartments are maybe 888, I think, gold coins. So they sell for about 18, 19 peds, and that values apartments, I think, at maybe 16, 17,000 peds, which is, or not apartments, shops. These are shops. They also have silver coins, which are for apartments, which cost a lot less because apartments are less valuable in shops. But I think the shops are the 18 to 19 peds for these gold tokens. Value shops at about maybe 16 to 17,000 peds. I'm not sure if that's exactly right, but off the top of my head, I think it's about right. So I got a gold coin this week and last week, so hopefully I can get a gold coin this week. But yeah, going back to that results. I mean, that trend line is good, so hopefully we can continue to, improve on that. I am gonna change around my funding method a little bit. Not exactly, but increase actually my share buying. So my goal is, now that Next Island is starting to drop a little bit, that's increasing the yield. I mean, it's unfortunate, but I mean, it's unfortunate if you're trying to sell the shares, but I'm not trying to sell the shares anytime soon. I consider the shares to be at least a 5-year project minimum, probably much longer than that. I'm going to slowly write off the share value, 1 PEC a week, but I'm going to be buying shares every week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, like, when I get rewards from Next Island dailies. So for example, if I get 16 pets from doing the Drake daily, that's going to go straight into buying deeds, 16 pets of deed buying. So every week I'm going to be buying more deeds. So I'm going to be writing off as I buy the deeds. The actual write-off is going to be less because I'm only going to write off a peck at a time. The write-off is going to be less than the deed buying, so I'm actually going to increase the valuation of the share. I know that businesses would take the write-off all at once, but it doesn't make sense for me for the consistency of my numbers, especially because long-term these are actually still strong assets that'll make a lot of ped. So that they're less valuable than, it just means longer time frame for profitability, really. And I am concerned that my valuations are correct, but I don't want to jolt my numbers taking, a 600 ped write-off unnecessarily, especially because in reality they're not really a 600 ped write-off at all. They're still a strongly performing asset. I mean, yes, if I was selling them today, it'd be a 600 ped write-off, but so I do want to, in some sense have accounting standards, but in another sense, but what I'm gonna do now that I think the valuation is more attractive, I'm seeing low 9s and even 8s now. The valuation is more attractive. I'm gonna start buying just to support the deeds. I think eventually, with inflation, that makes a lot of things more affordable, more ped cycled. I think eventually all the deeds will go up, but it's just a matter of time. I guess also the question is player base. If the player base shrinks enough, it may not matter. It may still go down, but if the player base shrinks enough, I guess it doesn't even matter at all. The game will probably go out of existence, but I don't know. I think the game is going to be stable for a very long time, to be honest, and successful long term. I think it's kind of one of those unique things, and I think that new people will keep finding it and whatnot. But also going back there, so like when I get pet for the next island days, I'm gonna buy the X ILDs. I would like if Cyrene, when I can get pet from Cyrene, if I could stick it into Cyrene deeds, but there are no Cyrene deeds. So probably it's gonna be Crystal Palace and Triton, which I've already done. So Cyrene, also Toulon is gonna go in the same bucket because Toulon doesn't have deeds. There are a few pet rewards out of Toulon. Monria, if I get that, will also go into the same bucket to buy deeds from Crystal Palace and Triton. I think Crystal Palace is falling to a level where I again think Crystal Palace is attractive. I obviously it's sold out when it was around 16, 17. Obviously there's it's amazing the potentiality. You can see for like a mini mayhem out of that compared to a mini mayhem out of um, NTI. But on the other hand, I guess NTI is getting lots of constant activity, whereas Crystal Palace isn't. So that sort of wild strike potential on a blue moon. It only has so much value. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel. But um, but yeah, I think that it'll it's a good goal to just kind of um, establish some deed things. Basically, for this these stuffs, it's gonna go from Atlas Earth, Ludius, Crazy Burn, Green Tulker. It's gonna go entirely into certain sorts of deeds. Basically Cali and NTI, I think. Um, but maybe even Arcadia deeds. I could not gonna see any more moon deeds, I don't think, um, into my collection. But I don't have very many anyway. But I could see I could definitely see some underground deeds. From actual deed balances, what are we talking about? Here. So I've got a handful of Unreal. I sold most of them, but I kept a few. I mean, they're not even really deeds yet, but I got a handful. Now I kind of just I don't even have the numbers. I just have pet values. Calypso, it's not a major holding, but it's a holding. I guess it is decent holding. My biggest holdings are Next Island and Treasure Island. Um, I really actually kind of am pretty fond of Treasure Island now that they've done these. Oh man, that got like stuck there. So yeah, if you ever get mine and you get stuck, you just gotta summon it. Or if you're just too lazy to walk back to it, you can summon it too. I would like to get this total maybe at least I think maybe 16,000 pets. It's quite a lot, 16,000. But yeah, I like this to be pretty bulky. Essentially, what I would like is for Treasure Island to be able to buy multiple shares of itself a week if I just want it to grow itself, Because I think essentially what's going to happen at some point is that once I get to that 3,000 ped mark or 30,000 ped mark, I'm probably going to stop buying deeds from pet I put into the game. and just the pet I put into the game is just going to go into my cycle or items. Um, but at that point, I think that probably I won't like be putting the pet from deeds into my pet card anymore. I'll probably be for a while using them to just reinvest into more deeds. So I would like, if it could be that, NTI, well, I guess it doesn't really matter because you can kind of just throw it from anywhere to anywhere. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm getting kind of far ahead of myself. Feel like I feel like I've got like a 5-year plan, and a bit crazy. Got a 5-year plan going. That's maybe a little much, right? Well, it's better that I got a 5-year plan than I got no plan. I mean, at least the plan can be heavily modified. But so far, so good, right? It's mostly working. I mean, I think it's mostly working out so far. My plans. Maybe, maybe not. I mean, we'll see. I mean, we'll see how if I can get a reversal into the positive, I think I feel really strong that everything's gonna work out. But if it kind of gets a massive drop again, maybe not. I don't know. But obviously, with all these skills I'm getting, that's another thing too, is that that's a huge amount of value. If I ever did want to, if I ever did want to, if my returns ever really suffered and I didn't want to put more into the game, that's a huge amount of ped that um, could be unleashed by selling. Because I could basically, if I wanted to buy it all, I can basically say, hey, you could be level 70 laser sniper today if you wanted to buy all of it, you know? It's a bit ridiculous. That'd be quite expensive, but I mean, I know that some people they want to skip parts of the game or just get in there and money's not an option to them. So yeah, I mean, I could see, huge transactions, with those amount of skills because I basically have the skills to get players to pretty significant levels extremely quickly, if they want to buy in bulk. Not that I want to do that, because I more want to just focus on continuing to grow my avatar. I'm not that concerned. I mean, I like in terms of sort of profitability versus growth. I would prefer more like Amazon.com style growth, where I'm just growing at high speed. I mean, not exactly growing that fast, but you know what I'm saying. But growing at in terms of just an analogy, growing at high speed with no profit, to eventually break into a profit. I'd prefer that growing at high speed to being overly concerned about profit. I mean, obviously, it's concerning if you're growing at a high speed and also burning at a high rate. But I'm growing at a pretty strong speed and very low ped burn, actually, maybe even none. It just depends how the trend lines go. Um, so at this point, to me, profit's not even um, not even significant on the radar. I mean, it's significant, but I think the growth is more significant at this point. So the way I sort of figure it is if I get the skills, the profit will come. Um, is my theory, and maybe that's wrong, maybe it's not. I guess that's part of why we play, right? If we knew everything that would happen, it might not be so fun. I don't know. Maybe it would. I don't know. I mean, to me, it's not the money's not so significant, you know. But I guess there is that uncertainty. Um, you know, like I'm quite a fan of uncertainty in many ways. You know, like um, not that I dislike certainty, but you know, you know, I think, well, I guess like an analogy of uncertainty is like, you know, there's a certain amount of fun to sports because you don't know the outcome. Obviously, you prefer the certain outcome. You know, you want usually, you know, if you want a certain team to win, but the uncertainty of what will actually happen actually makes watching, you know, the competition more interesting, you know. So you know, uh, there is something interesting about, you know, uncertainty in that aspect. It kind of it tends to drive experience in many things in a more positive direction. I think that's with Entropia. I certainly find that, you know, if I was in a state of certain failure, it would greatly detract from my experience. Um, on the other hand, I don't think that if I was in a state of certainly winning, it would detract from my experience because it actually opens the door to more experiences. Like, for example, you know, I could start getting a lot of interesting things. I could start hunting new mobs. In some ways, my experiences in the game are due to my budget that I've put in the game. I might could put more, but it's just what I want to put in the game. Um, uh, are somewhat limited. There are lots of things I can't do in the game with this budget that I have. So, you know, there's quite a lot of essentially investment that I could do into more experiences. So I don't think that winning would decrease from my interest in the game. Especially because, you know, there's so much you know, when you only invested, you know, um at 62,000 pets, $6,000, you know. Um that you know, this is you know, that kind of limits your the amount you can do. I mean, not that there's I do a ton, but you know, I can't do everything on that, you know. So if I really started to open up with profit, yeah, I mean, there would be a lot of things that I could do. Um, but you know, it gets expensive, you know. Hey, 116 peds, boom. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, you can see I'm really like I'm definitely hitting it more. Mining. So I think that's good, you know. I mean, I think having the with hunting being strong, but you know, all that weight from crafting and and mining, I think it was just a huge drag. And I think that I've essentially pulled the drag off of pulled the drag off of the mining, and so mining is no longer a drag on my system anymore. Um, the you know the crafting is just is a problem. It's a real problem. I don't know how to say anything other than that. It's well, I mean, let's go back and look at that unlock. And I got this. I think I got this lock probably like 10 months ago. It hurts the EP. I'm not gonna lie, the EP change with nano cubes. It just hurts like anything for that. But on the other hand, it really opens up mining. It opens up mining a lot. because everything has value. Everything, I mean, even that 1.5 101.5%, it helps. It helps that nothing is worth nothing here. So in one sense, it just was brutal for crafting because I mean, essentially how I was going to train that unlock was EP, and now the reverse. If you're going EP, you're losing 1.5%. I have seen some increases in pricing, but it's just not enough. It's way less than the cost increases, so it's very damaging to EP crafting. Which kind of leaves me kind of up a creek a little bit without a paddle. There, because I'm only at 527 skills. Now I have started to think more about other blueprints, and I do definitely want to work on crafting, like work on diversifying crafting blueprints and whatnot. There are a lot of reasons for that. And one is that I like playing the game. And if I decide to do things in life that require a lot more time outside of the game, so I can be away from the computer a lot. It'd be still nice to have something to do in the game. But crafting is perfect for that. You can just literally just set up an hour crafting run and then go do something else. So you can still have that kind of enjoyment of progressing and accomplishing and marketing and all that without. And I think that I'll get there. I gotta really work through a lot of what it's a lot of thinking. But the good thing though is that, a lot of crafting is knowing what people value, why they value it, and price points and things. So I think that that's something that I'm going to be very good at, but I just gotta kind of figure out figure it out a little bit. Um, so it is a goal for mine, especially so I can have lots of crafting things to do to if I want to do things, spend a lot more time away from the computer. I can and still. I mean, who knows? Maybe I should just turn off the game sometimes. That's a possibility too. If I don't have good crafts and just don't want to be at the computer, just don't play as much. But I don't need to play. Well, that's another thing too. I realize a lot of times I spend the game just kind of like semi AFK anyway, so I just log out entirely. Whatnot, whatever. But yeah. But I mean, I think there's a lot of benefits to crafting it, and I think that, if I can get good at it, better skills and good blueprints that are leveled and just the right stuff. I think it can also just really be enhancement on the game because you know, that's a lot of time where you can, cycle ped and just not do a whole lot. So, you want to take a couple hour nap, you know, still progress and do that. But I have a lot of good stuff going on. It just I think it's just, figuring it out over time. Change to like a run ring or something. But I'm heavy anyway, so not really gonna matter much. I just need to hit T to be real with you and storage some stuff. Or I could just call it a video too, you know. Which I might do. I usually go for 45 minutes or so, but kind of did like 22 minutes on Twitch live stream accidentally. So maybe I will just call it a video, actually. Yeah, I think I will call it a video. But yeah, you know, I'm gonna have all those referral links where you get some extra ped. So check that out in the comments. And then like my channel. Subscribe maybe. Leave a comment. What that just does is help. Helps YouTube know that you value this content, and that helps it get higher in the algorithm. So that's really positive for me. You know, if you do any of those, you like my video, you subscribe to my channel, you just leave a comment, all of those things, it shows YouTube that you value what I'm doing. You know, what I'm trying to show how I think about the game. I hope that how I think about the game can help you. You know, um, and so anyway, till next time, guys. Really appreciate you guys. Ever want to talk to me again? Just shoot me a message. I know I have a very cryptic name in game. I'll tell you what my name is. That'll be what we'll end on. It's Danny. Let's spell it for you. Let's maybe show you from my thing, right? What is it? You? So it's Danny Paduk Wichi. So it's kind of a cryptic name, but it's one I've had for a while, or I've used for a while. So it's a little bit different in Entropia than many other places, but usually I just go Paduk Wichi. That's like my YouTube channel, or my Twitch channel. So go Paduk Wichi. That's a pretty, for most people, or for many Western people, that's very cryptic. But Go is a game. Go is Japanese. Paduk is Korean. Wichi is Chinese. Same word, Japanese, Korean, Chinese. Go Paduk Wichi, Japanese, Korean, Chinese. What it means, it's a game. It's one of the oldest games in the world, probably the oldest non-dice game in the world. No idea how old it is. Maybe 2,000 years plus. I don't know. Not really sure, but it's one of the most ancient games, or most difficult games too. You know, I think chess fell to Deep Blue from AI in the 80s. I think it was about 5 years ago that AI finally defeated Go. But how did they defeat Go? It was not machine power. It was machine learning. It was AI. They had to basically teach the AI. AI had to play billions of games against itself to learn by experience to be the top human players in the world. So it is, in a way, it is, the computers had to sort of become human to defeat humans in Go. So Go is one of the most fundamentally human games, because you can only beat a human at Go if you think like a human. That is fascinating. A very intense struggle game. Very thought-provoking. I originally started Twitch streaming that game, but I haven't played for many years, but maybe I'll play in the future. Well, I play on my phone, little app. It's very strong. But maybe I'll play with people sometime. That's my name. If you ever want to mess with me in a game, anything, just feel free. All right. Till next time, guys. Adios. Have a good one. All right. Take care.